Hi, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. I'm Lindsay, and this is my promised scripted review of Emily Wilde's series, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands, and Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales. I have the second and third book with me. The first is in the States, but this is spoiler free. Probably not going to be the longest because it's spoiler free, but it's just a little, summation of the trilogy and why I like the book. So let me just get into it. So Emily Wilde is a professor of dryadology at the University of Cambridge, and in this world, fae creatures are real, so she studies something called dryadology, which is the study of the fae creatures. Or she doesn't study it, she teaches it. Well, no, because she does study it. Like, she teaches it, but still studies it. You know how professors do that? So Emily has a plan in the first book to write an encyclopedia of fairies, of all the fae creatures, all the different fae creatures that dryadologists have encountered. So she goes to this fictional Scandinavian countries to study these courtly fae, called the tall ones, that they don't really have a lot of information on because they are the most dangerous. One of my most positive takeaways from that book is the satisfying character development that it has. I think it does that really well for Emily. There's also another professor that comes in called Wendell Bambleby. He's like her academic rival, but they have impeccable chemistry. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. You just right off the bat, you're like, well, do you guys really hate each other? Well, he doesn't even hate her at any point. And it's like, do you really hate him, Emily? Does he really annoy you, Emily? Like I was saying, they're workplace rivals in the sense that they work in the same field at the same school. And so like, they are competition in like whose paper is going to do the best, who's going to be invited to this convention or talk or whatever. And Emily definitely sees him as a rival. As I was saying, she like is telling us that he's annoying, but right off the bat, you know that's her love interest. Like as soon as Wendell's introduced, you're like, he's down catastrophically. And the second one, Emily's new project is making a map of the Otherlands, hence the name. We are introduced to new fae creatures as well as new human characters. So the head of Emily's department comes with her and Wendell as well as her niece on this new expedition that kind of builds off the last one in the last book. It really continues the world building, and things that happen in the last book kind of come back around. The department head and Emily butt heads, so there's that tension and there has to be some development there. And we also learn more about Emily's past and her family with her niece being there, and then we learn more about Wendell too. It takes the character development from the last book and builds off of it. It is not as egregious, it's not huge development since there was like a bigger development in the first book, but it does build off that development nicely. Now with the third book, Compendium of Lost Tales, I can't say a whole lot because I fear any sort of synopsis would give spoilers. So all I can really say is it builds off the last two stories in a new setting. Basically, Emily and Wendell and some new friends, I love you Snowbell, they have some business in this new fairy realm that is known for being very dangerous, so there is a lot they have to overcome. There is a fly in my flat. Don't know where it came from. I've almost gotten it a couple times. Listen, I'm all for catching and letting bugs out. It won't let me catch it. It won't do it's so, this is a vigilant fly. It knows when I'm coming. Even if I'm way over there and it's way over there, it's like, oh, I see you. But like how, what, like if you won't let me help you, what are we doing here? I can't think of any issues with this book that were really egregious to me or anything. It could be me like turning a blind eye. It could be me being sweepy. I've been sweepy these days. We are adding W's to words with S's now. Scaly and sweepy. I mean, the characterization was consistent. There was the growth I talked about and the personal growth, and then the growth with relationships and amongst each other. And just like the voices were distinct and all of that. I would say the world building could get a bit wordy, but it wasn't in a way that I felt like it was info dumping. It was just wordy because Emily is a professor, so it kind of went with her characterization of she is going to tell you everything. She is going to write like it's academia. I really love the way the story was told through journaling. I think it added a unique element to it, and I said this because I vlogged myself reading these, and those are not spoiler free, but if you have read these books and you want to watch those, I will try to remember to link them in the description. But It's really, and I've said this repeatedly, just a cozy fantasy story that does a lot with world building and teaching about fae creatures if it's something that you're interested in. It does a lot with like the folklore, and I think my lights just went out. That or it got darker outside all of a sudden. I don't remember what I was saying. Something about, oh, if you're interested in fae folklore or just like learning more about fae creatures, because I love, for someone who really likes fantasy, and I'm also interested in folklore, and I love learning about different fantasy creatures and fae. The Folk of the Air is my favorite series, and that is a fae story. So if that's something that interests you, but you just want like a really cozy story that you're not going to be picking apart a ton, I would recommend this trilogy. Also, if you like academia, for sure. But pretty much that's all I have to say. I know I didn't say a whole lot. Gave short synopses because I'm not trying to spoil. It's spoiler free. I said it in the title. I didn't lie. I'm not lying here. I'm being so honest and real right now. Yeah. That's it for this video. I will be back with vlogs either next week or the week after. And yeah, if you like reading, if you like fantasy, especially if you want to see my vlogs, definitely check out my vlogs, and I'll be doing more vlogs throughout grad school because it's the easiest content for me to make right now. But I will always come back to these scripted videos, even if it's less right now. Eventually there will be more. That's all I have to say. Okay, bye!